Hi and good afternoon. This is Jimmy Doolin coming to you today with another sit down. And today I'm sitting down with Matt Sponaugle. Hello, Matt.
Hey Jimmy, how are you?
I'm well, sir. And yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and talk a little bit about real estate.
I appreciate it as well.
So, what has 2020 been like for you?
Honestly, I've been hitting the same numbers as I have for the last 2 years. I think that all has to do with a lot of prep work in the very beginning of my career. However, I'm definitely ready for more. I'm impressed with how some people have either sustained their business or how they have ramped it up in 2020.
Yeah, there are really a good number of people that have built their business up. So, your business is it based on geographic? Is it based on a group of people? Is it referrals? Like, where do you get your business?
I started mainly by asking the mayor question and also going through a lot of my friends and just yelling from a mountaintop, if you will, about how excited I was to be doing what I was supposed to be doing in life, which is helping people move through solutions of real estate that I know. So that's really how it started in the first 2 years of my business. I just couldn't say it loud enough.
Well, it's now 2020, and you started with us in 11. So 9 years later, is it those same people coming back? Is that where you find the majority of your business?
Absolutely. I get calls out of the blue, which are awesome. Which is, just helped the parents of the daughter and the son within the last 5 years. And that always feels good. And that's a bulk of my business is truly through friends that, spread the good word.
Isn't that the greatest compliment when you help mom and dad and then they trust you to guide their children through the same process?
I think that was the biggest thing that was super cool to me because they're putting a cash offer in on the next house. So they've done really well in real estate in those terms. And they watched me take care of their son and their daughter. And they said, you know what? We want you to take care of us. So, yeah, absolutely.
It's really cool. Speaking of families, you're in a big team that is family driven.
Hmm.
So part of your upbringing, not all of it, but a good portion of your upbringing was around real estate.
Yes.
So you like the team model? I mean, it can you give us an idea of why the team model works and what you find to be beneficial to your clients in terms of a team?
Absolutely. First off, at 41 years old, I wouldn't be the well-educated individual in real estate that I am without, certain role models like my mother and yourself, Jimmy, along with when I started in new homes as well when I was 24. That's when I started selling new homes. And then from there, mom had started selling resale in 97, or I'm sorry, 95 in Illinois. And then when we came over to Indiana, she, took a sabbatical from real estate and got back into it right when I started selling new homes. So it's really interesting to see the team dynamic grow for us as a family, and also the way that it has been a part of my life ever since I was 24. So it's really cool to have seen the markets do what they do. And it's also very cool to be able to be there side by side with mom and get her input when sometimes I feel I need a little guidance and wisdom.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
6'5". You are
Tall
the
enough to
epitome.
hit my head on everything and tall enough to trip over things I don't see.
Well, and you are the epitome of the gentle giant, like 6'5", but even just you explaining your answers, you've got that wonderful laugh, just which is who you are. You're always a happy, you're always enjoying the moments, regardless of what those moments are. That's one of the things that I'm very fond of you for is your approach to things. Do you use that same approach in your real estate to just put people at ease? Because I would imagine, your personality being that you are so jovial and you are fun, I would think that'd be comforting to people.
I would hope so, but otherwise, my father told me a long time ago when I was a small teenager. He said, "Look, you're going to be a big guy, and you're going to command a presence. So, you get to decide how that presence is felt." And, I think I was so scary for a lot of people in the beginning of my adulthood that I just wanted to tone it down and make everybody kind of at least, get off guard and smile a little bit. So yeah, I guess so.
Well, at 5'7", you certainly tower over me. I don't trip over anything or hit my head on anything, but
You're a lucky man.
I think that's a really neat advice that your father provided you. You get to decide how you use that size, and if it comes across as warm and inviting and comforting, or if it comes across as intimidating, you get to decide. That's really that's sound advice. Hobbies. What do
Well,
you?
during 2020 and, doing the same amount of business, I have picked up golf in a major way this year, more so than I ever have. And it was just nice to get out with friends and enjoy nature because that's the only way I can enjoy nature. Not much of a hunter, not much of a fisherman, and aside from that, it's hanging out with my 18-year-old boy these days. Those are my hobbies.
Gotcha. So, as you look towards next year in business, what are you seeing? What are you thinking about next year?
Uncharted territories, especially with the moratoriums and the way the government has, you know, said, "Hey, we're going to take it easy on the renters, and we're going to stick the landlords with the mortgage payment during the shutdown." I think that we'll see some interesting listings coming up. And I also feel like the fact that I am with my girlfriend, who is also a loan officer, she tells me rates day in and day out. And she tells me a little bit about the current future of her business from her bosses, stating that, maybe next year we'll see lower rates. How much lower can we go?
Yeah, I
And
mean, I think the feds are in a little bit of a pickle with that because they can't raise rates because it'll raise their payments, and they can't. We have so much debt in the country that they can't afford that to go up. So we'll probably benefit from continued low rates, if not lower rates, like you said. Um, so give me an idea, like tell me about a fascinating real estate transaction. Difficult, fun, exciting. Oh my, wipe your brow because you can't believe you got it done. Just one of those experiences that was really unique. No names, of course, but just one of those unique experiences somewhere in your career.
oh boy, you know, I did get a call out of the blue from a guy that didn't know me, and he ended up uh, hiring me to take care of his listing. And he was probably 13 years younger than me, and he had rolled over $100,000 into a nice $400,000 home. And then from there, he called me up 2 years later and wanted me to represent him again because he had already done the things that you have done to update your home. And he had only done it to the living room and a bathroom. And, due to the market circumstances, I looked at him and I gave him the numbers in person, and I was surprised and jumping for joy for the kid because, he had made another 100 G's. And so he rolled that over and decided to start his life with his wife and his dog and have a baby. And I just visited them not but a month ago to just follow up with them and say, hey, and it was super cool. It's so nice to know that, we can help in a major way realize their dreams in certain ways because we can help them maximize their dollar.
Speaking of their families and everything, you guys are big on doing client events and keeping in touch and things like that. It's a pretty common occurrence for your team to host your own events, to host company events that we do, et cetera. But you guys really get into building those real solid relationships.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if you do that, then you're never worried about, where your next paycheck's coming from because typically you get calls out of the blue, which are super cool. But it helps you kind of be faithful about the business. And as long as you stay in contact with them, then the faith of you having a paycheck is better. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you build relationships with people, you own your business, and when you're just buying random leads, you're just renting your business. You're renting it from whoever's providing you that lead source.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
And it never feels good to when you just go ahead and sell them a transaction, if you will, and then you just move on with your life. I mean, I think it at least deserves a follow up and a, hey, how's the home going? Are things as wonderful as you thought they'd be? And usually the answer is absolutely, because that's what they wanted, and we were help them, with solutions to get into their dreams, if you will.
yeah, I never wanted to duck when I walked through the grocery store. I never wanted to hide behind an aisle that, oh gosh, there's so and so. I don't want them to see me.
Oh no, it's super fun. Maybe the
I'd rather
sellers
walk
on the
tall and proud and have people come up and say, "Hey, Matt, man, it's great seeing you. We love our house. You know, our neighbors. We were talking about you the other day with them. I mean, that's what you really want in real estate." So
absolutely.
you mentioned son, you mentioned girlfriend. So what is the? Tell us about your family and your home.
Well, so in Indiana, a lot that has helped me as a real estate agent is working for a new home builder. He would send me from Greenwood all the way up to Noblesville, and I never knew where I would be. So every time I would go from new home, I literally would open up the community book and learn a little bit about each community. And I've driven because my son's mother, I sold her two houses, which is a badge on my belt for sure. But otherwise, because she lives on the south side, I drive Indianapolis for the most part every day. And I know everything pretty much southwest and all the way up to Fishers. Um, and then from there, I would say, as far as family's concerned, because he lives on the south side, he went to Center Grove. Uh, I'm very familiar with school systems down there. I used to have a girlfriend in Perry Township, and now uh, I've lived in Speedway. That's where I graduated, and from there, I also went to Zionsville Middle School as well. And from there, now I currently reside in Carmel with my girlfriend and her daughter, who is 11, and she is now within Carmel School. And so right now I'm loving Carmel, every bit of it.
Awesome. Yeah,
I've
they've
worked
done
here for the last 7 years with you, Jimmy, and I'm more thankful for that than a lot.
yeah, they certainly done a great job. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy and got lots of clients and people that you're helping in different phases of real estate. But I certainly appreciate your time today. It's always a pleasure. You are, one of my taller people I admire in the world. So it's
That's
good to.
only because you look up to me.
I do look up to you. That's exactly right. Well, you have a great day, sir, and thanks again.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Take care.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.